Grand Rising, Grand Rising, coming to you the live stream at 0900 hours, 6 minutes on August 20th, 2021. This message is brought to you by the Brothers in Arms Community and Unity. And I have a few questions for you, brothers. And if you notice how the world is going, if you have you noticed in movies that they don't even include us? You notice in a lot of the platforms, unless it's another brother, we're not included. We're demised by all, but our tools and utility is wanted by all. We are the most copied men. We are the most publicized men. Why is that? Why is it that your adversary hates you so much? What have you done wrong personally? And I can guarantee you 70% of you men can say, I have done nothing to no one. But someone will find something about you to call you wrong, bad, or not good, just based off of what one man of your race done. See, we have a history of what other racemen, right now in another country, these men are getting praised for what? I don't know. Because what I learned about war, you don't have to keep fighting the war if you end the war. Correct? So they having to keep fighting the war every 10 years. Did they end the war? You can say the same thing about us. But the one thing we know, we haven't even begun our war. We haven't used our own power yet. We have not. See, that's the funny part. We're getting to the point where we are about to start. We haven't even begun yet. They already hate you, and that's a good thing. You know why that's good? Because when we start implementing everything we're supposed to implement, they already hate you. There's nothing else that whatever outside of our race men think about us, or the race men that's part of them think about you, is already there. It's gonna be easy. I hear sayings, a enemy of my enemy is my friend. Or keep your enemies closer. Keep your enemies close, but keep your friends close, but your enemy closer. Why is that? You don't have to. That makes no sense. I will tell you that right now. If you use that analogy, that's stupid, and I won't hang around you. I don't want to be part of nothing you are doing because your mind is not thinking. People say, wait, OJ, he thinks, how do they put it? When I speak, so here's a understanding. You cannot speak to me and tell me about information that you never experienced. But then at the same time, you can tell me information I never, or my experience, I never experienced what you're talking about. But I can logically use my life and information that I know and counter what you say in a good way or in a guiding way or a challenge. Well, I'm saying a guiding way or a challenging way. Yes, I love to challenge what a lot of people think, because when a lot of people think, I don't think they listen to what they say, because I have to go back and listen to all my 500, close to 600 videos that I've made. I have listened to them all in entirety. Have you done that? Have you recorded yourself and went back and listened to yourself in entirety and took notes and thought about what you said? I bet you a lot of people, because it's in telling you will get a book and read a whole book, but then your career, your profession, what you practice, your business, you won't read all of those books, but then tell me you are a master or you are part of a group, or so, because I learned, no, you're not. If you and I have not did all the first criteria of anything, if you're going to join the group, there's rules and regulations, there's orders. So if I say we're going to come together, brothers, here's an understanding, and I give you notes, and you didn't write them down, then later down the line, you forget why are you doing this. I want to ask you, brother, what are you here for? And if you cannot tell me after you understood, because I'm not going to give you a book, because I deal with the heart. I don't deal with the matter of what you see. I deal with your heart. And remember, you are already the most hated man. So if you already the most hated, I don't care. You shouldn't be caring what they think. You have no friend. In my indigenous, quote unquote, black brothers, we don't have no friends. We have no allies. We are our own friends and allies first. We have to understand that you are the man, nothing that anybody else has no effect on you, because they can help you in all they means, but it still don't help you. You know, I just said they can help you with all they means and still don't help you, because they're not your friend. They don't really care. They're using you to get to where they want themselves to be later on in life or the time being. Most people don't think longevity. Even people that say longevity, they don't think longevity. Because you think about a relationship with someone, longevity is learning how to talk with that person. See, relationships not working, I don't care what pill, whatever you take. See, when a woman of our race say, I am more successful with a Caucasian male, I say yes. You know why? Because you bow to his whims. You don't talk to understand. You just talk to do. You're taught and you talk. You taught to do, because that's slave mentality. See, a slave, I still use the word slave because in our minds, a lot of your brothers and sisters are slaves. When you tell me the reason something is happening and that's my choice, based on that, you are a slave. Let me help you with that. You can say, OJ, you do it too. And I will tell you I don't. And people say, well, that's why they don't talk to you. Good. Because I was talking to a woman I'm trying to get to know, to try to see if I want to court her and marry her. We was having a discussion. In a discussion that I know that a lot of women may not care about, because it has to deal with another woman. But every time I brought up another woman, she had a problem. And I told her right there, I said, there you go. She didn't understand, and she still don't understand. But from the understanding I was trying to learn from her, I let her know your aura changed. I used the word aura because the way she started talking to me and how she started responding to me changed. And I said, you do that when I talk about another woman. And I said, I'm not talking about another woman to make you mad or to make you feel insecure, because it was based on a question she had. So if I take my understanding talking to her as my own understanding, I will never get her understanding. And that's why relationships don't happen amongst our race. That's why we have no allies. Because when the first thing you say, and a person only goes to their mind, their own mind, of how they want to think, that's the problem with communication. I keep hearing a lot of people, especially our women, say, I want a guy to communicate. No, you don't. There's an ideal of communication, and there's actually communication. I don't say real or fake. There's an ideal and there is communication. Communication is hearing what he has to say, how he's saying it, and how he's relaying it to you. You supposed to receive it. Now, if you don't understand what this person is saying to you, so since she don't understand, she should ask you a series of questions. So let's take a break right there. You know how people get in relationships talking about, I didn't know he was married or she wasn't. How come you don't know they were married? How come those people didn't know? Why don't you know everything about that person through your communication? That means you haven't communicated. So as I say this, Think about why I'm saying this. It's your fault you didn't know they were married. This is one-on-one. I'm not talking about the masses. Because if we talk about the masses going to say it's that person. Oh, that person should have told you they are trash. No, it's not her fault. I never asked her no questions. I would have never known she was arrested before. I would never know she been through the ordeals that she been through in her life, her testimonies, if I don't ask, or if I never communicated inside of a discussion or inside of a topic. Why do you feel that way? I have to ask a series of questions. That's why I said it's on you to understand. So it's for me, brothers, to understand I don't have an ally in this world. This is how you know your woman is an ally, or if she's your friend. Let's take Afghanistan for a reason. Do you think those men are strong? Are they fighting for a good reason, or are they powerful? I didn't see my comments. Grand Rising, brother. Yes, I was going to do a video on that. I'm going to research that and do a video on that. Yes, in Grand Rising. To me, I don't think those Afghanistan men are strong, because if Grand Rising, brother, and I want to have a talk with my brothers and about Afghanistan, and I understand the art of war. The art of war is not won through what they did. I think that is very silly of men to not care about their life as they are walking to make a change. Because I heard people say, yes, it's suicide. There's literally what brother said, he's talking about something else, but literally that's suicide if you going into a fight and you don't care if you live or die. Just let's go there right there real quick. I go into a fight, I don't care if I live or die. So I'm going to ask you, what is your purpose of going into that fight? If you don't care if you live or die, the reason you are fighting, why? But you don't care you live or die. So your reason of fighting, you're fighting only in vain. My reason of fighting is to come back home. See, when I was a United States Marine, you know why I came back home? Because when they were showing me how to put on the gas mask, they were showing me how to take the trigger off the bomb, and they were showing me how to aim my weapon and take it apart within a certain amount of seconds, how to do the support on my weapon when my weapon jammed, because I wanted to come back home, because I had a reason to come back home. So if you listen to women, men are designed to be tools or utility. No, we're not. When she say that, she's not our ally, and listen to how she speak about you. If everything is compared to another race men that have not been through the whole ordeal, she's not your ally. She's angry at you for what, as my brother DOD was saying, this woman are talking about men she deal with. She never deal with me. Because if that woman deal with you and you know you a good man, you take care of your woman, you pay your own bills, you are paying for the date, you are doing everything you're supposed to do. What is beta? What is simp about you? You are being the man that you are. You are being the man that you call to be as yourself. So if that sister don't want that type of man, but if she keep choosing, but remember, she don't ask questions. Her reasoning is only based on her mentality. So my reasoning of war is not based on my mentality. It is based on my brothers, my brothers, my brother David, my brother DOD, my brother Sly. It's based on them. It's not based on the thought of the woman thinking about me, because this is why I say those men in Afghanistan are fighting a no cause. Because if you can watch one of your brother die and step over them and keep moving, I don't want to fight with your war, and I don't want to be allies with you, because I'm supposed to care about you. Because you know why? I'm building a relationship. So if my point of war is to protect, how I'm going to protect you when I'm dead? How How is my brother going to protect his family if he's dead? So the meaning of me going to war is to protect, right? But our indigenous quote unquote black men don't protect women. See, I was in the Marine Corps to protect. See, we think freedom has no price. It has no cost because we learned how to be deserving and entitled of things we did not learn. We did not earn. Same difference. I just receive when I join social media, I receive a lot of free information. So who is it of me to say within my power, let me give out some more free information? You don't have to pay me for it. It's not a diss to nobody. This would hear me out. You don't have to pay me for it because this is my lip service for me to you. Because I receive free information, I want to make sure my brothers receive free information. I want to make sure my sisters are protected. So when a man is speaking and a man is telling our women, you're doing the same thing the other women did to me, you would think that those women would want to listen. You would think the women want to be accountable and responsible for their actions. You would think that, right? You would think their mentality want to change. But instead, they want to fight, argue, and belittle and degrade. They want to run away. But we got to understand, overall, within my power, I'm going to war to come back, for I can protect. And the reason I left, because I wanted freeness. If you look at the word freedom, dome mean doom mean end. I didn't go. I want freeness so I can make it back to where the reasoning of why I'm doing this. You got to have a reason. You got to want to survive. You're protecting something. What is your will? But if you're telling me my death, if that's my only design, you are not my ally. You are not my friend. That is not my only design of life as a man. I will dispel you and rebuke you in the name and the power that I have in my body, in my soul and spirit. If you ever say that crap, we should start rebuking and dispelling and expelling people that's against us, brothers. We can do a petition. Let's stop giving them power. I'm about to start talking about them because my whole purpose when I came on YouTube is to show you I call it the power of oneness. The power within me have nothing to do with the next man or the next woman. It's what I am designed to do. That's why I keep asking you, brothers, do you know your purpose? Are you living in your purpose? Are you walking in your purpose? Being a high value man is not my purpose. Being an alpha male is not my purpose. Being a man that randomly protect women on this earth is not my purpose. That's none of my purpose. In some cases, I know one of my purposes is to have my own family. If not, the family that I was born to, my blood, that's my purpose. That's one of my purpose. But I know as for me, so the ending of the conclusion of what I'm saying for this live, I know my purpose. No, I will reveal it with you. My purpose, since I was a young African Descendant, Indigenous, quote unquote, black man, I didn't see a good example of the race men as a whole. When I talk about, I seen a few. So that's because I knew that if I see one, I know there is more. Because one can get two can get 10, 10 can get 20, 20 can get 100, 100 can get. I know how that go. So I know that's true. I meet good brothers on the daily. I see single fathers. I seen father that's fighting to see their child because of a bad decision they made, thinking that was the right woman. I seen my brothers get hurt, thinking that he was being the respectable man. But at the end of the day, he can still go to sleep because he's a respectable man. I can go to sleep at the end of the day because I know within me, I did all that I could. If somebody was disrespecting me just because they didn't see my way, I'm gonna say, cool, that's on you. You disrespected me. I don't have to disrespect you. But I'm also not gonna allow you to make false lies. I'm going to speak with all truth because I am truth. I am honesty. I am resolve and resolution. So I know I wanted to see a good man of my race. I couldn't see good unless it started with me. See, how you doing today, brother? Thank you. Hope you're doing well and full of grace and encouragement. I want to encourage our brothers. What I wanted to see overall is good. I couldn't be out there selling drugs to my brothers and call myself good. I couldn't be out there womanizing my women and call myself good. How? How can I call myself good when I'm putting hatred upon my people? Thank you, brother. So I know within me, I had to take the time out to be good. I see a couple of brothers. I don't know. I'm gonna share. I just want, and I want this to be about. If you want to come up, come on. I'm gonna copy and paste the StreamYard, the link. I would want to say have about a 10-20 minute quick chat of not, you don't have to tell me your business, like a purpose. What do you feel is the best power about you that's good and healthy for our young indigenous quote unquote black brothers or older men? That was my thing. Shalom. That was my thing. I always wanted to show that if I was going to talk about good, talk about greatness amongst our brothers and our sisters, I had to be a good brother to my sisters. Like I hear stories about how their brothers was using women. I learned from my brother. So her mind don't matter what she do. She's gonna see her brothers being players. Sorry, that was never nothing to brag about. I said I give props to a guy who can tell a woman the truth and she still want to be. I mean, like you call it, full adulterated truth, saying I don't want to be in a relationship, but I want to mess around with you and another girl. Because you know why? He gave her the choice. Whether she processed it that way, he gave her a choice. And I always say I would want my people, my family, the people around me to have a choice. That's what freeness is. You have a choice no matter what. And within that choice, you decide, not no one else outside of you, not nothing that persuaded you, your choice. And what is your choices you're going to choose? So that's why, to me, one of my number one purpose on this earth is to be a good example to young men in my private home and outside my home. Because we do have a habit of having, you see all the scandals coming up about that dude. I told somebody, if you ever see me get killed by a police officer or another brother or another man of another race, I'll say, let you know I was tried and true. I did not, based on what I deserve, I don't deserve to be shot and killed as a object on this earth that meant nothing. I don't think my brothers, even in the gangs, they don't even know what they're revenge and warring about. My war gonna have a purpose. It's to protect me, protect my family, to protect my sisters, protect my brother, and to protect my brothers, my nieces and my nephew, my male family and my female family. That's my purpose. I wanted to be good, so I had to be good. So what I say on to one is, all right, nobody's coming up. I appreciate you, brothers, for coming on. Be encouraged, Brother Hank, Brother DOD. whoever else was on the live that didn't chime in and they just came in, and thank you. Share. And I always try to do my best to keep it mindful of who's listening. And I have my moments where I'm going to say, I'm being honest. This is weak. That's a weak mind. That's not a strong person. Oh, how are you doing?
What's going on, brother?
How you doing, brother?
All right, I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Can you hear me all right?
I hear you perfect, man.
All right. Thanks for coming on. I was about to jump off. I shared the link. I just wanted to. Can you give people? He has a channel. I'm gonna bring up his channel, a background of what your channel is about.
Sure, yeah. Well, you know me, man. My channel is about protecting our people, black men, women, and children.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'll also illustrate what's going on in the black community. I talk about how white people, how they've treated our people, and how they continue to treat our people. So it's pretty much just bringing just putting out black content, black news, letting people know what's going on in these streets today. And I do before we really get into it, man, I want to thank you for having me, Arthur. I really appreciate it, man. When you drop the link, when you drop, because I don't know what time you normally go live, but on the West Coast, that's where I'm at. It's 6:30, right? It's 6:30. I just so happened to get up and get on YouTube and see what was going on, and I saw you live. So I decided to check you out. Yeah.
I'll be forgetting you West Coast. Because I was also wondering, like, where are my people that tried to get you going live? Then I email, like, I'll be forgetting. I don't get mad. I'm like, what's going on? Like, they busy.
Like, cause you always over on, you always supported me, man. So
right.
When I seen the live, I said, yeah, I got to come check him out. Then when you dropped the link, I was debating whether or not to come on, because I'm just not getting up. Okay. I know my brain ain't gonna be, where it should be. But I said, yes, the brother, he did drop the link. Let me come up and see what he's talking about.
Okay, because I gotta remember everybody is West Coast now, because I keep forgetting that. So now West Coast 5 hours, because you said it's 6.
Yes, 6:30. Well, 6:33 now.
Okay, 3 hours. Okay, we got 3 hours.
On the East Coast, yeah.
Yes. So now I know. All right. I thought it was 5 hours, but it's 3. So now I got to remember. Okay. So if I do something I will have to do. So 10 at night, 9, 8, 7. So that would be 7 in the evening for you, 1900. Right. Okay. Right. So I have to send out. Okay. Because Slide said, I think Slide is West Coast as well. You're like, just let me know ahead of time. I think I'll be up too early. And then even everybody else is West Coast. I'll be forgetting. Okay.
Well, what you have to do, man, check your analytics and see, where people are at. And that should determine what time to go live.
Okay.
Because if you got a bunch of West Coast people, then it's best,
Okay.
To go later on in the day.
Right. So what I've been noticing, brother, is what I was speaking on is how I feel. I know you feel it. How we don't have allies.
Right.
And even when we have certain sisters speaking, they always revert back to, and I try to explain this, but they think I only talk. I don't know how to put it, how a lot of them put it. I only talk. If you don't think my way, I don't care about what you think. And I say that's far from the truth, because I get along with a lot of women that have channels or outside of YouTube that don't say that. Mm-hmm. But what bothers me, and the thing I'm trying to explain to them, so if we take the example, our brother Slide want to talk about this. I was wishing he was up, but I'll send him an email. I work 4 to 12, so 3 days in a row. So I'll have to do something on next week when we can have everybody on. I'll send you an email.
Yeah, because I was wondering why because you said you wanted to put panels together, but I never had heard back from you.
Right, because I'll be looking at the time, and I'll be sending them out, and I'm like, did I send that? Then I gotta send. I send them separate, so what I'm gonna do is send them all together. I'll be sending out separate emails, and I'll be missing people.
Okay.
So, and so what I was getting at, I was trying to understand, if we take Afghanistan, we say those men are strong. Those men is always fighting. But then the next thing that our men and women of our race love to say, well, black men is not this and not that. And in my mind, I try to explain to them that's kind of not contradictive of what you calling another. You're almost saying that they're better because they're doing this. It's like they give them more props. And now I don't know how to explain. Maybe I'm not saying it right, but I don't know if you get where I'm going. And I try to relate and say, hey, hold on. Do that make them stronger or better than me? Because I'm learning women desire power. I don't know if you noticed that, some type of power a man have.
Yeah.
And when they speak, if they think black men don't have power because they looking at power in the form, and you talk about it in the form of money, or we don't have land, we don't have assets, we don't have resources. But just as I'm happy you came, and just as you gave that sister, you looked it up and showed her. We do have that stuff.
Yeah.
We do have those things, those entities, those resources, those assets working for us. But since it's not being publicized, so we are rather showed our indigenous brothers in bad light, but we don't show the man that adopted those 5 kids. We don't show the man that was taking old cars and making sure single mothers, or the brothers that was having a hard time putting them cars back on the road for those people. We don't show that as a whole.
Right.
And what I'm trying to say is, no. Do you feel, as I'm having a hard time articulate, what are some things you hear in our space that you wish our so-called, I say, allies or our friends wouldn't say about us in comparison when they talking about other race men? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand exactly what you're saying. Again, like the situation that I witnessed the other day between you and the sister, she's coming from a place of frustration because she wants to see black men at a certain level in society. And again, it's, I believe, Brother Othom, I believe that this is your environment, which you don't see, you don't know anything about. Like I said, I've put out content out there showing that black men build. A lot of people don't know black men and women, and I love that too. Black men and women, we own 2.6 million. We're owners of 2.6 million different corporations here in America. Yes. A lot of people don't know that. And that's the first thing you'll hear. You'll hear women talking about, well, black women anyway, talking about black men don't build, we don't do nothing. Like you said, we have no assets, nothing to pass down, no generational wealth, but we do. A lot of these sisters, man, a lot of these sisters just coming from a place of frustration because they don't have that. It's not in their situation. You mentioned brothers taking care of adopting or being with a woman, marrying a woman, have 3 or 4 children. Well, here on YouTube, anyway, what would they call him? He's a simp. You know what I'm saying? On YouTube, that's what they'll call you. So these young brothers coming up now, and they hear that from these men and women who are spouting that BS. They hear you call somebody a simp for marrying a woman with 2 or 3 children or whatever, and then of course they're not going to do that. So that's going to, that woman is going to go probably more than likely unmarried for the rest of her life. Now she may get dudes that want to, like Ramil say, pump and dump, but as far as a real relationship, that's not going to happen.
Right. And that's sad. That's sad to me because I dated women where I cared about her, but then the attitude of the child's father was in that child, and I said,
Right.
you ain't my daddy or something. I mean, women probably about to be surprised I hear this. I think based on the man, if you don't have no children, date a woman with children, because you never know. That might be his wife. You never know. Like you said, if we listening to the brothers saying, like you said, I listen to Ramil and everything. I don't listen a lot because I don't, like you say, it's like how sister was frustrated. I'm coming with frustration, but I'm also not saying other race men are doing something much greater just because I don't see it. But then I would have to do the research. And you know me, I even try to do lives where I do research. And then I show them how I'm looking at it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So like the example, if we go for our race to race, we know our race marry each other 86% of the time. Our men and women, they get together in marriage 86%.
That's right.
But I did the research and I had showed I gotta find it because I wanted to show the sister this. But they kept saying, well, this, and they keep saying it's like they were just talking bad. Well, we do, but this right here, I say no. But I was telling her, well, it's still not good because even though that's true, only 34% of us are getting married. I said, so we even it off, and they 30% of us get married. What about the 70% that's still single? And then I say in most rates, when people say single, they talking about the father not in the home. But then there's actually another statistic that talk about, well, he's single, but he take care of his children. Like they prove we are number one in fathers.
You can also be in the house with a woman and be single. If you're not married, then you're single.
Yeah, right. I meant to say that too. Thank you for that one. Yep. Yes. And they don't count that as being, you got to be married. For some reason, statistics don't calculate, or you got to find certain statistics. Because now then, that's what I said, you got to do a little bit more research. And a lot of them people that speak that way will not do the research.
Well, because they don't want to do the research. If they do the research and they find out what they're talking about is not true, then it defeats their purpose for whatever they're angry about. They can't come, not least honestly, they can't come back and start talking about what black men and women don't do once they find the research.
And that's the part where I try to take my mentality out of it. So now when that sister was speaking, I was listening. That's why I said you might want to ask somebody certain questions. And then I learned this from getting to know a lady that I admire. And when she speak, she was asking me questions and I had to ask her, I said, stop. Because when she asked me questions, so instance, if she was asking me questions about strippers, and that was, and I told her I'll go to strip club, but now she had different questions. But I was trying to say, I'm going to answer your questions, but I want to ask you first, what is the reasons of your questions? And when I did that, she said she felt as I was trying to hide something from her. That was in her understanding. So I had to try to find the place where she was coming from. And then I was learning a lot of us we're not speaking, we're not communicating to get an understanding of what. So let's say you say something. I was like, man, I'm not trying to get DOD understanding. I'm only trying to find my understanding. Do you think we can, how can we do better at that?
Well, first of all, man, we got to get the women up out of our conversation because they're coming from emotional. They're very emotional when in their thinking, and so that's the first thing we got to do. Secondly, man, then we just got to sit down and, because we're not going to always think alike. We're not going to always agree on everything, but there has to be at least a consensus. You know what I'm saying, on whatever the agenda is. And then we have to figure out who's best out of the group, who's best to to perform certain tasks to reach that goal.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
Like
true.
you may
Because
you may be good in an organization. Another person might be good with finance. Another person may be good with building. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're building a town,
right.
something like that. So somebody may be good in plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
Other good, So but it's all for one goal. To
Right.
reach that ultimate goal. So that's why I look at it, man. I look at it as we have to get together, leave the women out of it,
That's
because they're
true.
coming from an emotional standpoint, and they want everything done yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to plan it, then you have to execute it.
And so then that's an excuse, and some things take work. That's a good one. And I would want women that hear this is we don't mean this in a what's the word they love to use online? Sexist. Sexist, or I always it
It's
start
not
with
that
an
at
M.
all. Yeah, it's
Sorry.
not.
We don't mean that in some sexist or the M word. What's the M word?
Misogynist.
Yes. Always say it wrong. So I'm happy you said it and you knew it. For some reason, I don't say the word right the way I speak. So misogynist and sexist. We don't mean that in a sexist or a misogynist way. We're saying that so brothers can come together and we can understand each other without, because not being funny, if brothers coming together, a woman is an outside source that we don't need for that time because we are just coming together. Now the input of the woman would come later. Once the brothers came together and we talked and we have an understanding. So now when the brothers are allies standing together, so we can be brothers, when somebody else come in and ask the questions, the brothers say, okay, we know he's marketing, just as you said, he's marketing. He's our commercial guy. He's our industrial guy. And he's more the leader. We can all say, how is this going to affect each sector we have? So we go by like YouTube sectors. How is this going to affect the quote unquote black news sector? How is this going to affect the unity of black man sector? Because each going to have a sector, or what she's saying. Because we already came together and said, well, we want to show good, positive black men imagery. So he's being a good role model. We're not showing, trust me, it's going to be enough sectors that's already showing us as bad. We got enough. All you got to do is you can hit the Google search. You can hit the YouTube search and say bad black man.
You're right.
Them videos, man, it's crazy. Type in something in about a black man. Even in the Google search, you still, it's crazy. Even when I use different things that's not Google, you still no. I can't say that because I use. You ever heard of DuckDuckGo? I'll type something in, and since the search engine is different, you still gonna get that, but you still gonna get something different. Like, oh, I never. Then you click on like, oh, that's, and it's ironic. And even I found an article that was written by a woman that hate black men. She started a whole movement. Even in her beginning mission part of her statement, she said she separate black men and just uses us all as men. And then she used black men. She actually said something positive. I'm gonna have to find it and then I'll email it to you and let you see it. You were like, oh wow. I was kind of shocked, brother, that she said something positive about us. Because I never heard her say nothing positive. And so
you remember what it was?
It was about being fathers or something, or relationships, about how black men do care about their women or something of that nature.
Oh.
But it was funny because then during the rest of the article, she started switching up. But I said, she basically contradicted herself. Just as when you brought up, I don't know, that was you. A woman started off saying, yeah, that was, she said men. Then she all of a sudden went to black men. So do she hate men, or should she just say black men?
Right.
And that was the emotion part. And that's why if brothers came together, if she come in our sector, It's almost as having security, like a firewall of a brother saying, "No, sisters, this is not the time," and we move her out the way. Either block her or we just ignore her. Because sometimes, because you do want to hear what they're thinking for a little bit, but after a while, it's like, all right, you're really not here for understanding. And as you learn, she wasn't there to understand. She was only there to see if you can get her to reinforce. So she was, like you said, she was waiting for you to call her the B word, to call her.
Exactly. She wanted me to call her out her name so she can say, "Yeah, see, I told you."
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we have brothers that stand together, and let's say that's the case, you the head. So like, all right, I definitely want deal, and you understood that right away because you even explained that. Don't matter how you think, and no matter what other things you posted before that or after that, you understood in that situation. So we look at the sectors. I would say I want DOD part of my firewall, my security of guarding the brothers, and that's what it is. Like your name is DOD, Department of Defense. That's how I looked. That's what I thought it meant when I first met. I was like, that's not what it means. Yeah, and I was like, okay.
But you know why I use that name though, right? How I came up with it and all that.
No, explain that. Oh man.
I thought you knew. Deacons of Defense.
Yeah, I never knew why you use it, why you started using it.
Yeah, because my uncle started that group back in the, that organization back in the 60s, the Deacons for Defense and Justice. My uncle started that.
Oh wow, I'm gonna be looking that up, man. Thanks.
Yeah, look that up, man. Look that up.
And I'm gonna do a video on it. I'm gonna have you in the video. Okay, wow.
Yeah, out in Louisiana, he started that organization.
Okay. All right.
Back then it was like the Black Panthers, but it was out in the South.
That's what he was
doing. Yeah, what he was doing, because the Klan was, real heavy out there at that time. So he was protecting, Black people going back and forth to church, and when they go out to vote and stuff like that. And I mean, he had an organization of men that we know that open carried and protect the brothers and sisters and the children, as they go back and forth during like voting or when they go to church, stuff like that. When they set up picnics or stuff, gatherings or whatever. Yeah, that's what that was about.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, I'm gonna do that. Do that with the Brother Talks. I got that channel. Got 4 videos on there, the Brother Talk series. So I'll go do that with that channel. But I'm still gonna use it. Come off this channel because people don't really go to that channel. I need to express it more and everything.
Yeah, you gotta, especially like when you come over to my channel, man. Drop your link, brother. Be afraid to do it, man. Drop your link, because I don't mind that. That's the only way people can subscribe and find channels. If nobody knows what's out there, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, appreciate it.
Like with Sister Isis, she never comes over and drops her link. If I tell her to drop her link and her book and all that, but she won't do it. I have to really get on her if she's over in my chat for her to do it.
You got a book? I didn't know she had a book.
Yeah, okay. She wrote a book. The Laws of Coons. I think you would like it.
All right. I think she
mentioned
laws. Oh man, that's got to be good.
Go to isisx.net. And the book is really inexpensive. It's only like $10, I believe. I bought 2 of them. I bought one for myself, and then I bought one for Bella.
Okay. Oh, how is she doing and everything? She's doing good.
Yeah, she's doing much better now. Yeah.
Okay. Cause you said somebody had surgery or something.
Well, no, that was my daughter she had a kidney transplant.
Oh.
But she's good. But
she's doing much better.
Yeah, she's good now. She's home and everything.
Okay.
But Bella, her daughter passed a few months ago. She's been going through. That's why she hasn't been on as much.
Okay, sorry to hear that. Tell her I said be encouraged. Yeah, much grace to her and the family, and you too, brother, because you walking it out with her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's beautiful. And I want to hear that, like, even though that was it's sad and hard times. The beauty of it, here are stories where we stay together. You got a beautiful woman, African descendant, indigenous woman, and we don't hear those stories. Like people staying together, they going through, and then we just being there. I want to do that and start like a week, like every day out the week. It's almost like having a, because nobody watch TV no more. They on social media.
Right. Yeah.
So having such as a half an hour to 40, 45 minutes, almost like TV shows, like a lineup. So you say, yeah, 8 p.m. Then I guess it'd be West Coast time, because I know it'd be late for some, but then they can get it and then they can rewatch it. And then Tuesday have a lineup, Wednesday, or just do one show or do an hour-long show or whatever, and just have, like, build a channel for that, and just have each other just sharing good, positive information with each other. And no, I'm your ally, brother. If you want to do anything with me or have me on, I'm there. As long as it's positive, and if it's not saying it's negative, what we talking about. And I know you give a whole range of perspectives. You don't say, look at these black men just fighting each other. You actually go in, if you do something of that nature, you go in and you break it down of why you're showing this video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I always try to explain it, as simply as I can, because this is, it makes more sense to people, and they can have something to think about,
Right, and they so used to it. And then brother David, yeah, I understand, man. We got to get out of that. That's what I'm saying, my brother. We got brother Deacon here, just sitting here like, all right, brother, how can we handle this? Because that's what the Brother Talk series is for, our narrative. And then even talking to a lot of women real quick, I want to be in here much longer. Like you said, get their mind is frustrated. They're angry at us because they want stuff done now, right away, and let them, and just show them it's a lot of good brothers. A lot of stuff is just started. Like, we was calling women the B word in rap music. That's the 90s. So before the 90s also was going on in the world. And the brothers online now, that's new. That's only 10 to 5 years that brothers expressing themselves online. But what was going on before that? And I love, me, I indulge into those topics. And so let's go back a little bit farther now, since you saying, well, it's black men, they call them black men, quote unquote, they disrespecting the sisters. But I was like, such as, them are the only, just again, if she choosing those brothers to be with, you cannot compare him to me and DOD. We don't use those. I'm not saying we don't say them, but we don't use them towards women in that direction, in that way. If we did, like one slip up or something, because you hear a word, you probably say it. They're like, all right, let me catch myself. Let me get back to who I am. I'm not calling her that. So it's like, so if I give a description, a lot of women outside I seen today were acting as Jezebels. And then the women in their mind say, see, you calling us Jezebels. And we say, no, we're not calling you a Jezebel. We said we was outside today, and it was women acting as Jezebel, and it wasn't even in their setting. Now, not saying I'm giving an excuse to say like Freaknik was back in the day. Well, if they acting like Jezebels at the event called Freakniks, to be more understanding. But if a women at a regular restaurant and they don't have no panties on, or they got on thongs, they booty cheeks is out, they skirts rising, yeah, I think that's kind of different. That's not the event for that. Right. And we had tried to explain that. It's like, so how? And that's like, we think more logically, and they don't get that, brother. I don't know why.
Exactly, because they think emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
All their thinking is eternal and internal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. They think with everything is emotional for them. So, but just like with the sister yesterday, that came into my comment on that video. I was calling her sister because when I was coming, that's what we call black women. We call them sisters. They called us brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, and that's being respectful. And she took about all my sisters, you know what I'm saying? And if I was calling her all kind of beads and everything, she probably would have been cool with it. But I was showing the sister respect. And she got upset for me, you know, respecting her. I don't get these women today, man. But like I said, I'm not really gonna go back and forth with a woman, you know, all day long like that. I'm not really gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna get a man nowhere, because they're coming from an emotional, you know, mindset. So I'm not gonna go back and forth, especially on panels and stuff like that. I may ask a couple of questions, take a couple of shots like that. You know, shoot a couple of shots at me, stuff like that. But I'm not gonna, you know, just start yelling, and I'm not gonna get to the point where I'm so frustrated I got to be calling a woman all out her name. It's just not me, man. I'm not gonna waste my time doing it.
I understand. So I want to keep you much longer. Ask you a few more questions about now going into, do you believe from when you was a young man to now? I don't mean it in no type of way, because I'm 38. I still say when I was a young man. You know, I'm messing with you.
This year.
And I don't clap that up, because that's beautiful, brother. Because a lot of our men of our race don't live that long.
Right.
And not even be good. You managed to live that long and do the best in your life and try to do all the things you seeing as, and now listen to you, now watching videos. You always try to do everything you were supposed to do for you, and you care. And you showed me that you care, and your expression with your woman or lady, rest their soul, and condolences and everything, and grace out to the family. And do you feel as from when you were younger to now have quote unquote black men, indigenous men, do we have less allies outside of our race or more allies now? Do you feel a change? What do you think?
We never really had allies. If you're speaking of other races, we've never really had allies like that. It's just always, you know, it's always been us, you know, just black men and women. I think where we're losing allies at is with our sisters and other black men. We're losing allies there.
Yeah.
Because everybody these days are for self. When I was coming up, man, it was a community of black people. Man, I can go to your house. I do something over at your house wrong. I get my behind whooped at your mama whooped my behind, your father whooped my behind. Then I get home and I catch it there too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There ain't nobody sitting around talking about, well, don't put your hands on my child and don't be disciplined. It wasn't like that back then in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? If you did something wrong somewhere else, man, you'll catch it there, and then they'll bring you home and tell you what happened, tell your parents what happened, and then you'll catch another ass whooping. So, you know, but today, man, everybody's for self. Everybody is, I don't know, it's more materialistic with the women these days. And the men too. You know, they want everything fast food. They want everything right away. And there's no more. I see less community building.
Yes.
You know, and everybody's more for self.
So you answered
as far as allies go, as far as other races and allies go, we never really had them. In my opinion, we never really had them. But as a people nowadays, we even losing ourselves. Right. You see that here on YouTube, man. We got the pink pills, we got the Cynthia G's, the Nylas, the divestment women, and then on the men's side, we got the SYBMs, black men. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this shit is crazy to me, man. But then again, to be honest, I only really see it here on YouTube. I don't see it in my everyday life. We don't run around, you know. We don't talk like we do, like you know, like the conversation.
Social media spaces.
Yeah.
So do you feel offline? What are things that, like the allies part or friends, do you feel as offline in your city are people more, are they friendlier? Are they friends with you? Do they care?
Right.
Do they help?
Right.
Do you see that more offline?
Where I stay at, man, it's just black people here. Where I live in Las Vegas,
Oh,
and where
okay.
and where I'm at, it's just black people here,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't, like I said, we don't have those type of conversation. And we get along, but the men and women,
Right.
you know.
It's so different in the North, man. It's so different here. I could be walking down the street. The sister don't say nothing to me. She turn around and walk the other way.
Wow.
In my set, if I leave out at night, I work. If I do the 12 to 8 shift, she out there around 10 something walking her dog. She would never say hi. Then like a couple of women, like at least 4 I seen got white dudes.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, and they think they better than you. I live in the North. I live in Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
Western New York.
Right.
So offline to me, I was like, damn, I want to experience what y'all experiencing. I gotta move or something. And then I meet women. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because see over here, I've only seen one brother with a white woman.
Right.
The only one, and I have seen no sisters where I'm at with black with white dude.
Not one.
Not one where I'm at.
Wow.
And like I said, only the one brother with a white woman.
Wow. Is he cool with y'all?
Yeah. I mean, I have no problem with him.
Yeah.
I know, and he doesn't seem to be lost.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers and sisters get with these white people, and they seem to change. He doesn't seem to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really had deep, in-depth conversations with the brother.
Right.
Like that. But,
but if he's from there, he probably don't have that demeanor of how a lot of the brothers talk online about our sisters. He probably don't have that demeanor either. Then he probably
I'm thinking he does it because he lives in an area where his brothers and sisters at. Even though he's married to he's with a white woman. I think he's married to her, but he brought her here. He didn't try to go to their community. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So he let us know. Yeah, I met her because I met her.
Right.
I grew up like that. I was just never into. Yeah, I got 2 white. I call them friends because they look out. Like it was different for me. I would say they're my ally, but because we have real discussion even as a friend, and I think that scared a lot of black women around. Because I try to have them, and I say, "Why are you battling me?" We're asking questions, and they're not battling me. Like one actually, like, what do Black Lives Matter mean? What's the meaning of the cornrow? Like it's like, because you're not hearing that from another white person. They probably just saying they hair suck, it's kinky, it's too nappy, or is too greasy. That's what they probably hear from white people. But the people that they actually getting to know and talk to, they're not asking those questions. It's like, why everybody got that hairstyle? It's like they asking, what is the meaning? And then she'll look it up and send me the article. And she'll be like, oh, now I get it. She's like, you're very informative. And she say, thank you. And yeah, it's like my city, man, you a helpful woman, you hold the door. They'll say, why are you holding the door for me? And they won't even say thank you. It's like, man, this is weird. I was like, and you talking about, oh, you see his sisters with I want to see that, man. I really do. That's why I say 2 different parts of the world. I know, like my brother David, he live in New York. He probably see everybody with everybody. He live in actually New York City. I live in, everybody think you from New York. If you say Buffalo, New York, you say Syracuse, or you say Rochester, it's kind of the same. But living in New York, the actual city, is like totally different from Buffalo, New York.
But now also, man, let me explain something now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think like you said to a woman, or you holding the door open for a woman. Mm-hmm. I've had that experience here just maybe 3 or 4 months ago. I was coming out of a store. She was coming in and held the door open. She didn't say anything to me. She didn't look my way, nothing like that. But I was cool with that because you know why? You don't know what her experiences have been.
Right.
it may have been a dude where he opened the door for her. She's head high, and he tried, tried to bum rush her, and she could have said, "Hey, I'm with a guy, I'm married or whatever," and got cussed out or whatever. So I really don't trip off of that.
Right.
As long as she don't come up like you said, like don't hold the door open for me, whatever. As long as she don't go off like that, I don't trip off of it. I'll hold it open for a sister. I'll hold one open for a sister before I even think to hold it open for a white one. If a white woman, I would just go walk on out. I wouldn't hold the door. But if it's a sister, I'll always do that regardless.
Right. And I want to let people know, just because I have them two Caucasian feet, like I will call them friends.
Mm-hmm.
And no, the white women here are racist as hell too. So don't think that's like, and that's what I try to explain to them. No, they're racist. A lot of them are racist. Just because two of them is cool, and I don't give the mantra of, well, those two white women good, so all of them, everybody else is good. No, they're racist too. I have some that'll be walking down the street. I seen her when I first moved out here, and I thought it was because I just moved out here. She did it 3 more times. Seen me and turned around, went back in the house. Like, then she finally recently said something to me. I was like, I don't know if I wanted to say hi. She was wearing her grass because she couldn't run this time, because then that'd be like too obvious. So she said hi, and I just kept it moving. I didn't say hi back, kept it moving. So I thought that was the funny interaction between me and her. But I don't have that whatever in my head. Oh, white women are so great, and Puerto Rican are so great, Asian women, but I see it on both sides. I'm not the one that give more props to one and not the other.
Right now, well, I'm a little different on that, because I give all sisters, props before I would big up any other race of women.
Oh no, I don't mean like that. Yeah.
I just believe our women need that reinsurance. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't get it. Just like with the brothers, we don't get it either.
Right.
And especially with each other. So I'm always there to uplift the Black men and women. As much as I can.
So as for me, I don't use the word enemy. I say adversary, because if you look at the word enemy, I know you heard this before. If you say it slow, N-A-me. So I always done that since I was little. So when I started hearing people say that, I say, I guess the things that I'm saying is finally getting the atmosphere. Just as the young men, when they was my nephew 22, he was around 8 or 9. I used to say, that dude got bunnies. They all laugh, him and his friends. Then a couple of his friends like, yo, that's actually sweet. Then now when dudes jumping out the gym, oh, he got bunnies. I was like, oh, I thought that was corny. We ain't want to say that. So I have learned that about some things we say now might help us or might be better for us in the future.
Right.
What are some things that you've seen that didn't help us as an ally or a friend before, but now I'm staying within each other? I don't mean outside. This is within our race. What we seen before was, it may not have helped us then, but now in the future, what do you think? What were some things that you seen that didn't help us, but now it's helping us? If you can, I'm trying to get your brain going in the morning. I was like, I like
right now I'm struggling to think of something right now.
Okay, don't worry about it. All right, I'll remember that. I have to remember that question for you, because not being funny, I'll respect you because you have information that I have not experienced.
Right.
And that's why I try to tell brothers, like, oh, he an old fool. Even some old fools and winos, we used to call them winos, not alcoholic. Winos, they love to drink, but there was nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
Or drug heads. Nothing wrong when they just did drugs. They mind their own business and did drugs. Like most people do anyways now. Some people just really just do drugs and mind their own business. I have no problem with that. I know it can sound funny to people. I have no problem with that. They do drugs, they do drugs. That's on them. And so I was like, get a certain point of view. All right, one more thing. I'll try to remember that question. I'm gonna write it down. For the YouTube, what are some things we can do, as you kind of mentioned earlier, but what are some things we can do as Indigenous men to change the narratives? What are some things we can add and some things we can take out? If you just name 4 add, 4 take out, if you can think of any.
That we can add to the conversation.
Mm-hmm. That you haven't seen. Or I'll save that question for you another time.
Yeah. Save it. But are you talking about something positive?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, save that for me, man.
Okay. Cool. That's all. And that's why I shared the link and everything, get a different perspective. Because to me, I feel as when you start talking about other countries and their problems, it's not the same as I'm going to move to Africa. And the first thing, I'm very informative. I would say, do you know the laws of Africa? You barely know the law.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah, you're gonna, if you're thinking about going, because I wanted to go to Ghana, to be honest with you. If it hadn't been for the pandemic, I probably would have been there. But you have to, like you said, you have to learn the laws, the customs. You can't just go over there. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn everything you can about the area that you're going to be moving to, about the people, the women, how you approach them, what you can say and not say, because you have a whole different mindset being an American than they do over here in Africa. So you have to learn their ways. What I was going to do, I was going to go over and visit a few times first, get the lay of the land, and then decide whether or not. But I wanted to move to Ghana.
Right, like freedom of speech is totally different over there.
Exactly. Like things you can say here, you might not be able to say over there without being thrown in jail or worse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I watched a lady. I cannot remember her. She live in Ghana. I don't know if she's from there or she moved there, and because her videos be titling my time in Ghana. I'm ready to move, or I moved in Ghana. I was like, oh, and I'll be listening. I was like, I don't know if she's from there or not, and I asked questions, and I don't remember. I was like, oh, okay, so I haven't seen her online in a while, and it's probably reasons, because Brother David, I gotta look at what I think his name Mayor DiMaggio for New York State or something. Yeah. There's laws on YouTube about YouTube's now, regulations and policies.
I see what David said in the chat. He said he don't hold the door for them at all. If you hold the door, it'll be for a white woman, because she'll say thank you. But see, Brother David, man, I don't look for a thank you when I do
the reward.
Right. I just do it out of respect, because it's a sister. And like I said, I don't know what she's going through that day, what she has gone through in her life, from a dude just simply opening or holding the door open for her. You know what I'm saying? She may have went through something from behind her brother, or holding the door open for her. Like, I don't worry about it. Just hold the door open. She goes in, she'll say thank you. I've had more black women say thank you than not. But either way, I don't trip. If she says thank you, I'll just say something like, no problem, like that, and keep it moving. And if they don't say anything, I don't say anything back. You just keep it moving.
Right. Don't allow, and I will want to put that in our young men. Don't allow the hurt of one. And even Brother David, I always tell him, I say, well, if that's how you look at them, you can't expect nothing good to come back then. So if that's how you treat black women, even though you say you don't care, but you wouldn't, you gotta remember. And I talk to them, I say, well, the divestors are still talking about us.
Exactly.
But when they cheat with a quote unquote black man. So they
really want black men,
right?
For whatever reason, either they can't get one, they can't find a good one, one that they think is good anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
that's all. And you can ask David how I talk to him because he never say, oh, up there dogging black women. He just say, telling his experiences. But I also, again, I can't expect for a black woman to be kind to me if I'm not kind back. Not one. Yeah, I can't expect no white woman, no Asian woman, no Middle Eastern woman, no Latino woman to be kind to you if you're not kind back. So I would want to put that in challenge our young men with that feel that way, or the young women that black men ain't this and that. But have you did whatever you did for those other race men? Do you show those kind gestures towards your race men? Since you hate me and DOD and Brother David so much, have you shown that same things? You brought him food. Have you ever brought a black? I mean, the one that cared about you, not the one that showed you is MYB. MYOB, yeah, MY. If he said MYOB, I said take him. They keep telling us take us at a word, right? Take him at his word. Don't say, oh, he looked good, like he looked like Morris Chestnut or Michael Ealy, so I'm going to ignore that. No, you might want it, but since he only looked average and he looked as a Anthony Mackie or my man that played Black Panther or a Michael B. Jordan, that's an average black man look. So but he just got money. I'm only gonna look at him because I said, well, you can't expect no good to come from that or good gestures or good positive experience with that man because that's how you treat him.
Right.
And they act like they don't want to understand it, brother, but
I think they do. I think they do. They understand it. It's gonna be sad. I see that you dropped my link, man. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yes, yep, your link right there. Yes, sir. So check out Brother DOD and Brother David is his name.
Does David have a channel?
About to show it. Put it in
drop his link so I can go check him out.
Okay, one moment. And Brother David, some reason. Oh, there you go. I looked him up yesterday. I couldn't find him. Now he back on. That's good. So yep, and you'll see his channel. It's just it's funny that he talk like that, talk as that. But I find it funny, and I'm gonna mess with him for a little bit. That's not what his YouTube about. Usually, as a lot of brothers, their YouTube is about the bashing of black women or they showing a disdainment. That's not what his YouTube is about. So I was like, oh, okay. But I'll say that's actually a good thing because that shows that I still look at people that got a heart. And we have discussion where I say, man, I don't say that about him. You just say, cool. But he still got his way. Like even he wrote that. I don't get mad that he just going from his experience. At the same time,
exactly. I was just going to say that. Also, people usually talk about things through their experiences, and so if they had a bad experience or two or three or whatever, then they'll blanket it and say all black men or all black. You know what I'm saying?
But before I get off, I want to make sure my comments show up because for the comments, do I go to my creator, the video I'm doing now? Is it a certain thing that I click on to make sure that my comments come up?
Oh, you have to go into YouTube for that.
After this is done.
Right, and make sure it's turned on.
Okay. So I was like, all right, where is that? I was like, why is my comments? Because my last video, he had sent me a link, his email, and it didn't come up. So I was like, why are my comments? Okay. Well, I thank you for your time. Now I know you West Coast. I'm gonna remember that in mind. Everybody else, I think everybody else is too. Normally, I think Ice is, Brother Sly. I think even Lightbearer. I think she's West Coast too, right?
No, Lightbearer? She's Central Time.
Oh, Central. Okay.
So she's an hour behind you.
Right. Because everybody else, even the one lady, Crimson Cure, she also come on at 11. So I'm guessing her 11 is she probably West Coast as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kendra D. I think Kendra. Well, I'm not sure where. I wanted to say Minnesota, but I'm not sure where.
Right. Right. She a different time zone as me and you, but it's not East Coast.
Right. Right.
Yep. So I'll thank you for your time early in the AM for you and everything. Appreciate it. Thanks for the being on, and gotta do more of this.
Like I said, I enjoy having conversations, man. You know, you're a good brother, and so you know, I don't mind. Like you said, having positive conversations, man.
Mm-hmm. I'll let you know. I think Brother DOD offline is this way. Offline, I let women know I'm this way. I said maybe my experience would probably be different if I went to their city. I don't know. Maybe I went to a different city and lived there for a while, or like you say, go visit for a month or two. So I'm gonna be capable of doing that with everything I got going on. Being able to go, like, just live in Atlanta for a month and see what happens. Go run out and how they do that, run out of places for a month or whatever, or week by week or whatever. Go there and just see how it is and live down there.
Yeah.
So I'm at that place. Yeah. Is anything else you want to add to the discussion?
Just again, man, just, you know, we need to be positive as a people, man. We need to bring our women back into the fold. We need to let them understand that we do love them, that we do care for them, for our children. We don't. I mean, I know I'm not one. I can't do that pump and dump thing. I can't imagine having children out there and not wanting to take care of them. You know, even if it's just child support, you should do something for your own. You know what I'm saying? Instead of complaining about it, not wanting to do it. I could never understand that. You know, but like I said again, also, man, I love the vibe that you have. I'm glad I caught you this morning, man. 'Cause like I said, normally I would just went back to sleep. But some I just said, well, let me go see what's going on in YouTube and be live. I said, well, let me go ahead and you know, get into this brother chat and see what he's talking about today. And then when you invited people, I wasn't going to really come up first because I'm not really up. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
I said, let me go ahead and you know, show this brother that you know, show this brother some love. And when I went up here, but yeah, that's where ISIS is at. Yeah, ISIS X.
Yep.
Laws.
So yeah, I'll check it out. She do other stuff too.
Oh yeah. ISIS is boots on the ground for sure.
Right. So and that's why I know just because I have a difference of how you think, that don't mean I'm against you. I'm an ally to everybody that's working for it. And this can sound funny. A lot of people I know are Christians, and a lot of Christians they do all lives matter. I say, cool. I don't think that way. I go help. Yeah, that's weird to me when I hear people of my race say that, and they look at it as a form of like separation and divide. But I'll say, even though, like, not to get into it, the churches are separated and divided, but y'all not working on that. So we over here trying to people together. You would think they all want to support that. Nope. So it's like, well, I guess I'm indifferent to you because you're not my ally, you're not my theory. So, well, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, and check out brother.
That's another. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. See, that's another thing I like. That's another thing I like about you, also, man. Even though you and the sister had your back and forth the other day, you're still promoting her book. That means that tells me that you're an ally. You know what I'm saying? To the sisters, even with the disagreement, you're still, like you said, you know, you're her ally.
Yes.
And I'm quite sure she believes that that she is yours as well.
You only my adversary if you swing your sword at me. And whatever your sword is, gonna be a gun, it could be a knife, a literal sword. It can be your words to say. I always look at it as this. I try to explain this to what is burning the bridge. If the bridge is burnt, it's your fault, because you know why? Because if you know the bridge that they raise, right? We both got a side of a bridge. We both got to raise our side or lower it. For me to get on your side, I can lower my bridge. But if yours ain't lower, I can't get across. And I'm not going to force myself across.
Right.
And if the bridge burns, they're going to look and say, why is this side of the bridge burned? Yep. They're going to find the gasoline. Not saying you, I'm just saying an example.
I know what you mean.
matches, the Molotov cocktail and all that. But they look at my side like, man, his bridge is, it can still go up and down. It's still accessible. It's still working. Then they're going to see it. It wasn't me burning the bridge. That other, also look at it as that other person burnt the bridge. I ain't going to burn down my bridge. I'm going to take it apart and then so I can build it back later if somebody else want to get across. But if they really trying to get across after they tried to burn down mine. Yeah, I took my bridge down because I didn't want mine to burn with it.
Right.
So also leave the door open, always leave the bridge down, or I got to remove all the parts that require rubber bridge and everything. So, well, you have a good day, bro.
Yeah, one last thing. I just want to let David know that, Dave, I'm gonna go and check you out after this. I'm gonna get and subscribe and see what's going on with your channel.
Yeah. All right, then, brother. Thank you. What I say unto one, I say unto all. Your path is your journey.
All right, peace out, though, man. Take care, brother.
Like